2024 is now called to order. You ready with the recording, Rochelle?
Yep, we're good to go.
Should I say that again, or the meeting's called to order, or not? Doesn't matter. All right, first order of business is the minutes of February meeting. Everybody's had a chance to review, and
I'll make a
If
motion
so-
to approve.
the motion made to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Minutes accepted as written. Comments and concerns? Persons present today? Anything? No, okay. Moving on. DCP investigation complaint status report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you,
Good.
Senior Inspector Hamill?
For the time frame March 1st, 2024 through April 30th of 2024, the department received 2 new complaints, and we have one that's closed. And actually, it's from a site inspection that they did, and they did a licensing compliance inspection down in Stamford. There was no violations found with the fire protection people that were on that job site that day.
Was that the one you sent out? Was sent out Rick Russo, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
That's
everything was fine. Just as a matter of discussion, we are out there doing more inspections. Because I received the 2 new inspectors. As you know, we're up to 6 finally. So we're doing more inspections. So are there any questions?
I have a question, and I'm not going to go into details in case you guys do have something going on, but in Stamford, there's a residential project, 441 Canal Street. DOL confirmed that they did a stop work.
Yep. Mr. Roderick, I'm sorry, we can't discuss that. That's an open matter with the Department of Consumer Protection, so it
Okay.
can't be discussed here at all. Sorry. Thank you.
Thanks.
Janita, if I could ask, the complaint or the one that was closed.
Yep.
Any details? I'm just curious. Was that something a complaint, or you just happened to pop in, or?
A little of both.
Oh, okay.
A little of both. As you all know, we can't target people when we go on a construction site. We have to check for everybody. And so we check everybody. And on that particular site, on that day, there were no fire protection violations. And we follow up and we check with the permits. And we also ask for job sign-in sheets for the day and any other documentation we might think we might need, especially in the event if we feel or we find a violation.
So you were there on a complaint then, not just happened to pop in?
That site was not noticed to us for any fire protection issues. But we went and we checked everybody. And since we check everybody who's there, who's occupational licensed, gets a notice of inspection. And the
Okay.
notice of inspection has to be entered into the system to be tracked. And the only way we have to track it is it gets entered into the complaint tracking database. That's why it says determine licensing compliance, and that's why it says inspection. We make sure we note that what we did that day is based on an inspection.
Okay. All right. No, I just, so a report like that goes out to each licensing board, electrical, plumbing, heating.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, mobile homes, architects, engineers, landscape architects, home inspectors, mobile home park council. Yep, everybody gets the same
Okay.
type report.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you happen to know how many open fire protection investigations are going right now?
For this 2-month period, I just mentioned it. If you have a particular question or a particular file, Mr. Roderick, that you want information on, you're very welcome to send me an email and list your concerns or your questions.
Okay,
Okay?
yep, thanks.
No, because I seriously, I can't discuss anything right here, right now. And if there's a particular file or particular instance or something you want information on, please send me an email.
I will, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
All right, moving right along. DCP Legal Division. I don't see, I don't know.
Doesn't look like anybody's here, Dave.
I don't know. I'm looking at my thing. It says 11 people are at this meeting, but I don't see, any other than, who's, doesn't come up who's the 11 people, but all right. Well, moving on, maybe it'll join us later. Old business. I'd just like to enter into the minutes that I know the last meeting, Tony brought up, I believe it was Tony, regarding the backflow. I'd like to keep that issue on the agenda till, I guess, maybe till Kingdom Come. I don't know, but I don't know, we'll get a resolution, but it is an important issue. So I'd like to keep that, to still wants resolution and still looking for some answers from whether it's DCP, legislatively, or whatever. Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
fine.
All right. Moving along, new business. Application for review, Walter Lyons. I believe I saw Walter's in attendance.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Walter.
How you doing?
Fine, and you?
Good. So my name is Walter Lyons. I work for Canastraro Special Hazards Division.
Yeah,
Out of
excuse me one
Walter.
second.
Yep.
Well, let me just, just to make the board aware, Walter applied for an F4 license, and the application review working group, it was denied. And just looking at my notes, the applicant didn't meet the criteria for the work schedule. And it was unanimous from the 3 members of the review board. So just so the board knows, because they weren't all privy to the information, Walter, what transpired, what brought us to this step here that you're appearing before the board. So
Okay.
with that, I guess I'll let you give your explanation. You were starting to do, but I just wanted to make the board members present here aware of what has already transpired.
Absolutely. Yep. So I work for JC Canestraro in the Special Hazards Division out of Waltham, Mass. I've been doing inspection, testing, and service on clean agent fire suppression systems for almost 20 years now. I do portable extinguishers and suppression systems in Mass, Rhode Island, and I recently just got my license for Vermont. I just was applying only strictly for the clean agent suppression system portion. I don't know why it was sent to sprinklers. I'm not doing anything with sprinklers, just clean agent fire suppression systems, just servicing and testing of them. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I've been factory trained on Janus, Potter, Fike, Vesda, Extralis. I'm OSHA certified. I'm NICET level 1 for special hazards. And I recently finished an FSSA training, which is about 3 days of training on all aspects of clean agent cylinders and testing of clean agent suppression systems. So that is why I was applying to take the exam, just to become a special hazards clean agent certificate of competency for Connecticut.
Well, just so you're aware, there's three different types of category of license under fire protection. There's unlimited, you know, each category has a contractor or journey person. So the unlimited category, which allows you to do everything, you know, pretty much everything related to fire protection. The F4 is what you're, or the F3, F4 category, what you're applying for is a limited license, but it's not limited just to clean agents.
Okay.
You know, so by virtue of holding that license, you're deemed qualified to perform the task covered under that category. So it's not, you know, like a cafeteria. You could just pick and choose. I only want to do this work, because the state is saying you're, in the eyes of the consumer, you're competent to perform all these services, duties, etc. So that's basically the reason you know, the application. Well, the reason you were denied was, as I stated, you didn't meet the criteria for the work. I just want to point out that you're professing 20 years experience, but you didn't work for Canestraro for 20 years.
No, I did not.
Canestraro was wrote the letter on your behalf, notarized letter, which is one of the components of obtaining the license.
There was also another letter written by Hiller Company that was notarized as well, that was submitted, where I worked for them for 8 years. And unfortunately, the company that I was with before that did not respond to me when I reached out to them for a notarized letter. But I did have a Hiller notarized letter as well, which stated that I worked, I believe it was either 7 or 8 years before I joined Canestraro, which has been a year now. And I believe on the application, it said it only needed 5 years experience. So I more than met that with the 2 letters. That's about 8 years right now, not including the 10 years previous where I worked for a different company.
Well, there's also,
That's it.
go ahead,
Dave.
Tony.
I just wanted to say, the Connecticut license isn't limited to just, they don't have one for just testing and servicing. It includes installation and all. So if you get that license, it's saying you're qualified to install and the whole kit and caboodle. It's not a separate item. We don't have a separate item system.
So I guess my question for you guys is there some sort of journeyman? I know in Massachusetts, we have a certificate of competency, same as Rhode Island, where I can service and test suppression systems only. Is there something like that in Connecticut as well that maybe I need to pursue instead of trying to get the F4? I don't know if there's some sort of journeyman exam that I can take.
I explained to you the three, I call them categories or stages of licensing, and you know, so there's nothing just pertaining to testing. I mean, it's,
Okay.
I mean, and I, you know,
Right, the
I may have
journeyman-
missed, I may have missed that letter from Hiller because there were several documents you provided. I mean, it's like, you know, there were multiple certificates and whatnot,
Yeah.
you know, provided. So like I say,
And the
but-
only reason why I provided so many is every time I sent it in, it was sent back requesting additional. So I just sent what I was asked to send, so. I wasn't trying to bog you down or
no,
make you
but
read a lot, you know?
what normally an applicant has completed an apprenticeship, a bona fide, you know, I use that word, bona fide apprenticeship in whatever category that they're applying for. There is a schedule of values or whatever, what's required through the Department of Labor for the F4 category.
Okay,
And what we'd like to see is somebody that's completed that program, done the apprenticeship, you know, hopefully through the state, not hopefully, but I mean, you know, normally through the state of Connecticut. If
Yeah.
it's an out of state, we want to see proof that, and I'm trying to, you know, let me see if I can remember my wording here. You know, that the applicant provides the requirements, you know, were fulfilled to obtain the respective license out, you know, outside of the state of Connecticut. Some people, give you an example, some people have been, you know, over the years, when a license comes into effect, they're grandfathered in because they've been doing the work so long. The licensing authority will say, okay, if you make application in so many days or by cutoff date, you're grandfathered in, whether, you know, you did the apprenticeship or whether or not you did it. We want to make sure that somebody wasn't grandfathered in out of state. We want to make sure that they fulfilled the requirements. Like I said, and Tony has said, the license is not limited. You know, I mean, it's a limited license, but it's a lot broader scope than what you're looking for. Therefore, the denial.
okay,
You know, because we don't see you meeting the requirements to, you know, because
yeah,
if once you get that license, you could go out and you could do installations, you know, and multiple types, different systems.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. Okay. And that doesn't matter that we have a separate division for that, which I'm not a part of at my company. We have a separate electrical division, a separate piping division, things like that, which I'm not involved in. Does that?
Yeah, there'd have to be an apprentice program with that company to
With the
allow you to
company,
do all the aspects of the F4, which would
Okay.
include installation. We don't have a breakdown of certifications for anything less than the whole installation,
got
testing, servicing.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I
So, I
appreciate
mean,
the time.
no, I mean, does that answer your question, Walter?
Yeah,
That's
no,
great. I mean,
absolutely. Yep, yep.
You know, I mean,
It's just
that's,
unfortunate because in Massachusetts, they don't, in order to get the certificate to work on these fire systems, there isn't an apprenticeship that I could go through. So I'll have to I'll have to check with my company, see if there's something I can do through them and, you know, revisit. But, yeah, okay, I understand.
well, I mean, you're working for Canistraro. I mean, you know, and you want to do work in Connecticut, they must have somebody that's, you know, licensed in Connecticut. You could work under their auspices and.
That's why they sent me. That's why they had me. Like I said,
Oh.
we're a newer division. We're just special hazards division. We don't do sprinkler. So they wanted me to pursue this so that we could start looking into, you know, moving into Connecticut. We'll probably just have to get with a company who's licensed in Connecticut and sub them out as of
Well,
now, you know.
You know, I mean,
forward.
you use the term special hazards. The special hazards are covered under this
Yes.
F4 category. You know,
Yes.
so like I say, it's not just, you know, inspection, testing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some people will say, I just want to fill fire extinguishers. Well, you know, that's, I'm just, you know, not really that, or I'm
Well,
just.
I do service and minor installations as well. I used to do the installations, but now, like I said, we're the company I'm with now, they have a separate, that's separate. Everything is separated now. So I have to kind of stay in my lane and
Right.
so you can stick with just the testing and the inspections of it now. But I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years, so I have done installation. I have done obviously service, repairs, things like that on suppression systems. It's not just testing and things like that. So
Your contractor does have an apprenticeship program for category. Well, actually, the F2. I know.
Yep.
There are avenues of getting the apprenticeship for this license.
Yep. And I'm going to speak with the fire group and talk to them about that, see how they want me to do this. I'm 46 years old. I don't really want to go back to school. So,
No.
it's a lot. And I'm already,
Well,
I have about 20 hours left to get my Class D low voltage that I have to do this weekend. So I'm not really looking forward to that either. So,
Right.
so yeah, I am, I will work on it with them, and we'll go on from there.
Okay. Well,
Good luck. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
oh, thank you. We'll see. Good luck. Take care,
Thanks.
Walter. Okay. Moving right along,
We,
PSI.
sorry,
What-
can we
what?
get a motion on the review?
a motion on the review? I don't think there's any change to the original, I don't know, to you. Was that you asking, Rochelle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we uphold the committee's
Decision.
decision. Yes, thank you.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, passed. Rochelle, is that just a formality or?
Yeah, typically we'll make a motion on the application reviews too in the minutes.
It's also the progress through the process, because it has to go to the application review working group first. Then it comes to the board. And if the applicant wants to take it to the next level, they could take it to court.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, just the process for the.
So I just,
Thank you, John.
Tony, if I can just, so the motion was made and second, it was to
I
agree
made a
with
motion to uphold.
but to uphold the application review working group's decision.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to. Okay, is that good, Rochelle?
Yep, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. PSI, excuse me, PSI test results. Everybody received that, had a chance to look at it? I mean, personally, I haven't seen one of these in a while, and I guess, I don't know if I want to say surprised, the failure rate, so to speak.
Well, I have a question with this with John. We emailed back and forth. One of our members contacted me. We got a hold of John, and there was a little glitch going on where supposedly questions were getting marked wrong that were right. I didn't know if that was ever fixed, and there were issues getting a hold of PSI through the apprentices end. And I didn't know if we have any updates on that.
So regarding the applicant, I have to go back, Wayne, because I think that he had to get me the test date and the location of the test center, which we never had a follow up on, if I recall correctly.
I hope he did, but maybe we missed it.
All right. So that's a key piece. But during remember we had the exam review, like about a year ago. That's where a lot of those questions come up, and we didn't have a whole lot that we had flagged at that time. But typically, what happens if you bring a situation up like that, I'll reach out to my contact at PSI. We'll actually pull the exam. We'll pull the questions that they got wrong. We'll review it, make sure that the resources are correct. But again, I just need the key information, so that we're not looking at the entire examination. So if you want to just follow up with that one particular applicant, even if you want, just give them my number, have them reach out to me.
Right, I'll re-forward the email then.
Okay.
We have it, but it's very odd, and you know, it would tell them the correct the review at the end of the test. The correct answer is B. He picked B, but it's marked wrong on multiple ones, so he failed. And you know, he went up to ask the lady. She gave him the proctor giving the test, or whatever, you know, the title would be, and she said he had to protest the test, which he did, and then there really wasn't a way to do that. So that's how I got involved with it. But every time you could never get a manager for PSA on the phone, on the PSI on the phone to go over this, and it's a big problem. I'm hearing this from multiple members of the local, and you know, he went back to the test site to approach the proctor again, and when he went in, there was an electrician there that had taken the test too, the same location, and he was having the same issue where it's telling him the correct answer, which he picked the correct answer, but they're marking wrong, and these gentlemen are getting told they failed the test when it's stressful enough to take the test, never mind to have these issues. Then you can't get a hold of anybody that works for PSI to get the problem resolved. You know, it's a very busy time. These contractors are pushing these apprentices to get licensed. We need licensed people. So it's just, I know it's nobody's fault on the ball or anything, but it needs to be addressed, I believe, moving forward, or find somebody else to do the examinations.
Yeah,
John,
I
that's,
think
it's,
sorry, Dave, go ahead.
no, go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, whenever an issue like that gets arisen and it gets brought to your attention, as you did previously, just get an email over to me. I just need the additional information so I can relay it, because there's only so much that I could capture in an email alleging, you know, something. So like that's why I was looking for the additional information so that we could kind of target and kind of get to the bottom of it. You just mentioned it, and there has been some instances where proctors might not be educated enough at the site, but all applicants, when they fail, so they go in, they take the examination. If they fail, they have the right within a half an hour to go back and request a review of that examination. Sit down with that proctor, look at the questions that they got wrong, look at the answer that they selected and the correct answer. They can't write anything at that time. They can't record, they can't take a picture, but if they could kind of memorize it, walk out and just shoot an email over saying, this question worded, you know, as close as possible, is incorrect. We could go back, as you know, from being on the exam review, you know, and just make sure the reference is still correct, make sure that there's not two correct or two possible correct answers, and just make sure that, you know, again, that they in fact did get it wrong. So.
Yeah, but John, what he's saying, it says, yeah, they put the correct answer. It's saying the correct answer is this one, yet they're marking it wrong. So there's a defect in the test. I mean, if you know, and if it's that one question that's keeping them from going over the top, it's costing them money. And you know,
I agree, but it's an allegation essentially, right? So again, you know, too, from being there, sometimes it's just a matter of maybe not reading the question properly. You know, what is the minimum? And sometimes you walk in and you read that and you kind of go off your trade knowledge and you put the trade knowledge and maybe not the minimum as it's in the book. So like you walk in and you know in the trade you don't use anything less than this, but it's not really the minimum per code. You know, so it's things like that when you get back and you look at it, you understand why they selected the answer they did, but it's still not the correct answer. You know.
Well, no, what Wayne just said, it's saying the correct answer is this, and they've checked it off, and it's marking them wrong.
correct answer is, I'm just using B. B, you chose B as your answer. Wrong.
Yes, but that's the one that I need additional information on, because if they saw it that way, that's what we have to get to the bottom of. you
Well,
know?
after we started going back and forth and he went back to the test site a couple times, I think he finally got a hold of some manager. He got a thing and he passed the test.
Okay.
So he has his license now, but this gentleman, he's a really good kid. He's like, I don't want to see somebody else go through this. He goes, it was so stressful. My wife's looking at me like, I don't know what I'm doing. What have you been learning for 5 years? So, that's all. And I was asked to check in on that. Thank you. And I'll get you the email just so you can have more information, and I'll even get you his contact number. Maybe he remembers the question, and I'll find out too. But that's
All right.
it.
Very good. Thanks, Mike.
Anything further on PSI? All right. Correspondence, there is none, I believe. Comments? Any further comments? Did anybody from legal join us before we move for adjournment? Well, anybody have anything for, any board members have any comments? Well, thank you, everybody, for attending, and I would say hopefully next meeting, I'm going to bring this up. Hopefully next meeting we go in person. My target was to have 50% of the meetings this year in person. First one was Zoom. This one's ended up being Zoom. We got an August meeting coming up. Does anybody foresee a problem getting to that August meeting?
Do you know what the date is for the August one, Dave?
27th, I believe.
It's the
29th,
29th.
29th.
As
Dave,
of right,
I won't be able to make that in person.
I'm good for now. As of now, I don't have anything in the schedule, just that.
Tony?
I'm checking right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I should be okay with it.
Kevin Griffith?
It's on my calendar, but it's way too early for me to commit at this point. No way, you know.
Come on, Chad.
I just double checking mine. I looked, I had something marked in there, but it says licensing board.
Don't forget it's summer season, so people will be out.
Yeah, I know you got to go pull all the buoys in, no? Or-
We're just putting
Time
the
to
boats
start-
in now.
What?
I said we're just getting the boats in now. I put my boat.
Yeah, I
in.
know, but August, you're going to be getting ready for hurricanes, whatever.
Yeah,
pull 'em
well,
out.
please don't. Let's not talk
No,
about that.
I'm not hoping. I'm not hoping, Tony. Believe me.
Hmm.
I get a kick out of these weathermen. They
Oh,
they
yeah.
say the
Doom and
alphabet's
doom.
not long enough.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's leave that as a target for in person, and hopefully we get maybe Kevin. You reach out to Keith, and we'll find out what's his status. And like I say,
Yeah, I'll check on that for
I
you.
appreciate that.
Okay.
So, anything further? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I.
Any opposed? Meeting
Aye.
is adjourned at 9:35.
Take care, all. Stay well.
There-
Have a good summer.
Yeah,
Have a
everyone
good
stay
day.
healthy.
Good
Thank you.
summer,
And
everybody.
healthy.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Good seeing you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thanks.